Hi and welcome to Okta, the easiest way to get to the BrainFood platform. You're going to go to freshbooks.okta.com and then you're going to use your Active Directory username and password to log in. This video is for admins, but you'll still log into BrainFood exactly the same way as everyone else. You're going to click the BrainFood button to log into your account. So for admins, when you log into the account, you do see a different screen. In fact, you'll still see the menu button in the very top left corner of the screen, but you can see you have all these other buttons running down the side of the page. So the menu button, I want you to go look at the learner video. This works exactly the same as if you had no admin capabilities. As an admin, you're also a learner, so you'd use this section to access essentially your learner account. So I'm going to move on to the admin section over here. You can see that you have quite a few different options running down here. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I am going to go through the main ones. You can see the buttons below it aren't super important. They are apps and features and plan accounts. So I do ask that you don't touch them without speaking to an administrator. Myself, Sandy, Amanda would be perfect. So let's start at the dashboard. As you can see, as an admin, you get a really cool dashboard with a bunch of different reports. Now, these reports will reflect all of the learners that you have been tasked in managing. So this has already been set up for you. And as a manager, you'll be able to see employees, all the people that you're managing will be here on the dashboard. You can see it has a graph, some amazing status circles letting you know how many people have completed the courses you've signed them up for, all the courses they've signed up for themselves. This will definitely be something that I'll have a further video on so we can go through all of the different things and options that are available in the reporting section. So you can see you have all of these tiles at the top. You can actually do a bit like FreshBooks. You can do anything from this page, but it also represents the different options down on the menu bar as well. So users, you can actually add additional users to your account here. So if someone new starts, everything will be added by the main administrators. Myself will be adding all the new employees as they come in. So you shouldn't have to use this section, but if you do, we basically split it up by department. And every time we add a new user, we do ensure that their branch is in there as well, the branch of the office that they belong to. This is going to be really useful later on if you want to sign a big group of people up to one course. You can see you can upload by CSV as well. So we're not using groups currently. You can see that it will eventually be able to use them to create smaller groups of people and use it to manage who gets enrolled into courses. But I'm going to skip straight on to the courses section right now. To help demonstrate the course creation section, I decided that I would create a course in this video here. Thought it'd be the easiest way. You can see we've already created a bunch of different categories and we asked you not to add or change any of these here. It'd be much easier for our administrators if we keep everything under these titles we have now. It doesn't mean we won't have to reorganize in the future. So you can see we have essentially these different departments. We're going to put one here under general interest and other. So we first have to click on that tab and then click new course. This is pretty straightforward. It's going to ask us for the course name. And you can see underneath it's going to ask us what type of course we're adding. Desktop, tablet course, one for your smartphone, or a classroom course that people will have to attend. Scroll down, you can pick a tile picture. These eventually will be branded. They'll be branded to make it much easier for people to navigate through the course catalog. But for now, we have some already loaded in there that you can definitely use, or you can upload your own. You do have to put in a little description. The course description will appear in the bottom left corner of each course that you create. It will also be what the learner sees when they go to subscribe for a course. So I would certainly make it tantalizing and interesting in order to get them to subscribe. So you do want to give it a course code. You want to give it something sensible and easy to remember. And then once you press the save button, you're going to be asked if you want to add any training materials. So these are the steps you are asking for your learners to complete in order to have this course completed. Now you can see under the training materials section, you have quite a few different options. And each step could be different. For example, you could have a video you want them to watch, And then you could have a file, an article. Let's start with the video. As you can see here, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to upload a video file directly from the account. I'm going to upload my learner demo. This was the demo just like this one I created for learners who only see that very top left button. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm not going to make you wait for the entire bar to upload, but it does take a little while, so you can sort of set and forget it. There we go, I sped ahead. So once you save these changes, it will come up with this logo, and again you have to wait for it to sort itself out and upload into the account. I'm going to fast forward this portion too. Voila! You can see it's just finishing. There's a little check box, little green check circle, letting us know that the video has now been uploaded. Next up, we have a bunch of different options. Slide converter, I'm going to look at in a little bit. That's PowerPoint related. A file is nice. You can just upload any file you want them to download from the system. But I do want to show you the assignment option. The assignment's pretty cool. You can ask your learners to have to complete something, to upload something in order to complete this course. So for an example here, I'm going to ask my individuals to upload an assignment here. You can see that it really is as straightforward as asking them to upload it in this title box and giving them some more information in the description. So in this case, I'm asking them to upload their strengths report, and I'm going to click the Save Changes button in just a second, and this will appear as a sort of second step for us. Yep, there we go. There's that second step. Let's see what else we want to add here. Slides Converter, I was just saying before, traditionally for PowerPoints, but I've actually used the Slides Converter to take any article that I find. I download it as a PDF and I upload it here. It just looks really nice in the system. I'll show you what that looks like here. Essentially, rather than grabbing a PowerPoint, I'm going to grab an article from my Dropbox account. You can see I have like the email compilation I've been sending out, all the emails that went out for BrainFood. I have them saved as PDF copies. And you can see as soon as it loads, it's essentially, it just looks really nice. It's a really great way for to have your learners click through and have a look at the different materials. I'm going to want to put a title on it so it looks nice and professional. This one here I think was for like a BrainFood recognizing Jackie email that went out to everyone. And I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click the continue button. So it will ask you first of all to take a look at it before you publish it, before you enter it into your course. And this could be many pages long. It happened that this PDF was just one. And I do have some extra options about the colors, and I can change the title down here at the bottom as well. So as soon as I click the publish button, you see, it shows you exactly what it's going to look like. If I want to get back, rather than pressing the back button, I can use these tabs at the top here. So I want to go back to my course, how to create a BrainFood course. And now we have these 3 steps. We have our video, we have our assignment, and we have our slides or our PDF. The next one I want to show you is an HTML page. This is really useful if you want your users to go see another web page. You want them to essentially leave the BrainFood platform to take a look at something, but you still want to record the time they spent doing it and record the fact that they completed it. So if you wanted them to go take a look at a pre-created YouTube collection, all you got to do is essentially create a little hyperlink here in the description box. So I'm typing away, and then I'm going to highlight some of the text here in order to create that hyperlink for people to click on. So I'm going to use something pretty generic. I'm going to put in Google here, which is of course www.google.com. I can choose what I want it to say. And then most importantly, I want to let the system know that it's going to open this into a new window while still tracking it. It's pretty smart. It's asking me if I want to put the HTTP at the beginning. And I'm going to save the changes on this one as well. So there are 2 more, survey and test. These are really useful as well. A survey is great for asking feedback questions. So I'm going to call this a feedback form to keep it nice and simple. You can see here in the description section, I'm just going to put a little bit about what I want, what I'm looking for in my feedback. I'm going to click the Save Changes button. I'm only going to create 1 or 2 questions here. I just want to give you the outline. There will be separate videos on each of these as well. You can see here I can choose a single choice or a multiple choice for the feedback form. So that's just asking people to select one or select as many as they want. I can also choose a text answer. These are really useful in feedback. Often when you prompt people, they'll give you more information in a text answer. I'll often ask for a summary. Encourages people to write a little bit more about how they feel it went. And then, of course, I'm just going to save the changes on this. This is a really straightforward question. I'll show you the single choice. Just as it is slightly different. A single choice means that they can only select one. So I'm going to type in a very straightforward question. Topical. Does it get cold in Canada? Oh, in the winter? Yes, it definitely does. I think we can all attest to that today. This is recorded in the winter, for those of you in the future, in the sunshine. And then you have a yes or no option. You're giving people the opportunity. It could be anything. Did you enjoy your first month in support? Yes or no. Multiple choice allows them to select more than one, so you might want them to have more options. Okay, I'm going to click the back button here and finish with this survey. As you can see, I've got a bunch of steps now in order for this person to complete the course. And then finally, I'm just going to show you the test. Test looks very, very much like the survey. The huge advantage of the test is that you are able to select a sort of auto-marking capability. I'm going to show you that in just a second. So you can see again, we're selecting a title, we're selecting a description, and we're going to save that right here. For the test, you have a huge amount of options up here in the corner. Test options, for example. You can click through all of these in your own time and play around, but these really allow you to set how often people are allowed to take the test, if they're allowed to retake it straight afterwards, if they get to see any of the wrong answers, and I really found those very useful for the test that I've created. Time administration will also give a time limit to it, so you don't have to sort of monitor that. You can have someone start taking a test and it will cut them off when time is reached. Score management, probably a sight for sore eyes for most people that do run tests. This will mark the test for you, and it will even notify the learner with some messaging. You can see here if you get between like 1 and 5 marks out of 10, you'll get a certain message. If you get 10 or higher, you get a different message. So let's just go ahead and add a question. Very similar options to the survey. Single choice, multiple choice, extended tests. Inline choice is a sort of drop-down box here. The single choice is really straightforward. It looks very much like the survey. You have an option to shuffle the answers in the top right corner there. So you can see I'm going to ask a really straight question a really straight question. What's our new platform called? And then I'm going to have one answer that is correct, BrainFood. And then I'm going to choose to give the give the learner even a mark if they're correct. And then food brain, we know this is incorrect. We can take off a mark if they're wrong, but for now we're just going to say they don't get anything for getting it wrong, no minus marks. I'm going to save the changes there as well. So I'm going to go back to the course. I'm just going to leave that one question there. And you can see now we have a huge range of steps. We can take a look at whatever we want to. We can move them around if we want the feedback form to be completed before any of the others. We can also edit these and put the length of time that each one takes. Really useful for learners to see exactly how long we expect each section to be. Gives them an idea of how much time they need to leave before getting started. And you can see those steps now appear at the bottom of our course. We are logged in as an admin, so we see some extra stuff here. But if we want to take a look as a learner, we can just switch over to the learner view. They also see this black button at the bottom here with all of the different steps. It's also in this top left corner for the users as well. And when we press the play button, it will open up that very first step that we want them to complete, which is our video inside of a video, very meta. So we're asking them to watch this first. The learner can exit out of that as soon as they need to. You can see step 2, we had asked them to upload a file. That's really straightforward. You can see it's a very simple form for the learner to go through. Step 3, this was our email regarding Jackie. You can see it looks really great right there. Next, we had the feedback form. We moved it a little bit earlier in that last minute. You can see, again, really straightforward, really nice and easy for the learner to go through. So I think our next step, you can see we move along here, was the YouTube collection. Just to show you what this looks like, you click on the video 1 button. It will open up a new tab. It's still tracking all of this inside of the BrainFood platform, but you can see now they're on Google. I'm going to click back. I'm going to close this up. That will be marked off. Seeing as we click the link, it will be marked as completed. And you'll see here, here's the test, the final test that we created. Again, we just have one question, and we're going to submit. Yeah, we got it right. You can see this is where the messaging would be if you wanted to say, congratulations for getting 100%. So you can see on this left-hand side too, above your admin button, you now have a little books button. This kind of is a quick area to get back to the training material, to get back to the admin view. So you have 4 options here to get to. So back to the admin view here, let's head to the courses section. This is where we created our course. You can see, if you remember rightly, we put it under general interest. So there's our course right now under here, how to create a BrainFood course. We have 1 person enrolled, that will be me. And we have all of these options now on this right-hand bar. We can go back to the training material. We can take a look at the reports, how many people have enrolled, how many people have completed it. Let's have a look at that here. Right now we just have 1 enrolled user and 1 in progress. So you can see that the bar is pretty low. This will obviously fill up. So you can see that the fact that I'm enrolled shows exactly how far I am. I'm in progress right now. All of your users will be here in one list. You can also see how much of each of the different training materials I have completed. So I didn't do the assignment yet. You can see I didn't get through the video either. And any assignments, when they do upload them, will be sitting here in this report section. So you can go in and improve them. So that bar just to the right hand side, it looks just like this one. So you can see, I'll show you the both bars. There's this one. These 3 options are also available on the left hand bar. Let's have a look at the advanced settings. You can see you can actually choose whether or not you want people to be able to work through the courses freely, any step at any time, or if you want them to do one step after the other. You can even choose some catalog options. You can choose if you want everyone to be able to see the course and enroll, or if only those that you subscribe can see it. Time options, this is great. This would mean perfect for FB Pay, where we put a time limit on how long people can take the course for. You can also put an average time, give people an idea of how long it will take. You can even put a little certificate if you want them to receive a little certificate they can print off when they complete a course. And then some course player options and some social stuff. So, if you want people to be able to share them. For now, we do ask you to keep everything private in the BrainFood platform. So just back to courses one more time. This is where you will spend the majority of your time if you're adding in courses. You can see here we still have the BrainFood platform up and running. To enroll anyone, we just click on these little people button here. You'll see once we click on this, it will show us all the people that are currently enrolled, just me. And we can enroll users directly, very straightforward. We can either enroll them one at a time, or even easier, we can select a branch. So if we wanted everybody in one of these teams to enroll, we would just check the box and click the save button. So let's have a quick look at the admin button again and head over to reports. Now we did go to one report earlier. We went straight to the course and took a report directly from there. The report section does that too. You can see you can do it from the dashboard, you can do it from the course, or you can do it from this report section. You just can pull a user summary. Let's take a look at Meryl. She's one of our learners. You can see all of the stuff that she's been doing, any badges that she's received. So you can really check in on your employees and see how they're doing. You could do it by course too, rather than by individual. And you can start creating some custom reports if you want to do it by department, by area of the office, by interest, by time. Those are all available in the custom reports for sure. So newsletter, this is pretty cool too. All of your users are loaded in here, so you can send them a little newsletter if you want to. It's very straightforward. You type it out and press the send button. So we'll go through settings later. Now I want you to look at classroom courses. So you can see there's a second courses button here. It takes you to the same page. We could be on the courses page. It's exactly the same, but this is talking about making courses that are going to be in person in the classroom. So it's very much the same as an e-learning course, except here the course type you want to put classroom course, and that will take you on a whole different trajectory. So a good example would be to create a lunch and learn. This one for photography is coming up. The lunch and learns we currently do are on the wiki. While I pick a tile here, I just want to explain that we will be doing all of the lunch and learns, all of the sign up will happen here in the BrainFood platform. We chose to do it that way because, you know, with the wiki, it's getting busy and crowded. In fact, we recently had someone accidentally delete one. So now we're going to be using it here. I found this cute little lunch and learn logo, and I'm going to put a little description about it. And from now on, people will be directed into their BrainFood accounts in order to sign up for a lunch and learn. You'll see why there's some really cool features with the lunch and learns here in the BrainFood account too. So as soon as I create the tile and the name, it's going to ask me if I want to add a session. These are really great because, you know, I can repeat sessions. I don't have to just create one. And you can see I can click this new session button here. It's going to ask me for the details of the session, where I want it to be held, what time. So you can see it even asked me for the maximum enrollments. Right now I think we have about 35 max, but as soon as the number and the platform launch, hopefully we can get as many people as we can into the lunch and learns. So it does ask if you want to create an evaluation where you can give someone points out of 100, but for this case we're just going to add a session on March 2nd. We'll call it lunch and learn photography, nice and straightforward. We want to put the time in here. Being a Italian platform, it's all 24 hours, and if you know there will be no break, all you can do is you can just put some zeros in here, and it will make sure that there is no break applied. And then location, we're going to put it in Union Station. So we want to take a little review of this. We're going to click the Save Changes button, and here we go. As an admin, we can enroll people into a lunch and learn if we want to, so it will appear on their calendars. Again, we can do it individually. Can find Meryl as a learner here, add her in. She always loves a lunch and learn. But really we want to encourage our users to head to the course catalog where this lunch and learn will be sitting and subscribe to it from there. So if we go back to the courses section, you can see we have our lunch and learn for photography, and we can get back to the sessions management section from there. The cool thing too is that we can have an evaluation and attendance and a print attendance sheet. So as a lunch and learn creator, you can take that attendance sheet with you to the lunch and learn and mark off who's present and who isn't. If you want them to get credit, you can also mark them as attended as well. So let's take a look at learning plans. Now, learning plans have their very own video, but I am going to go through them briefly right here as well. Learning plans are a really integral part of the future of FreshBooks University. There are two types of learning plans that I want to talk about. First, I'm going to show you how to create them. This type of learning plan is actually a personalized professional development plan for Meryl. This one, I would sit down with Meryl and talk with her about the kinds of courses and career development that she's looking for. Once I create this new learning stream, I'm going to want to find it here in the list. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. You can see we already have some pre-created ones, and this will fill up. But there's a search box in the top corner so you can find them nice and quickly. First things first, I'm going to want to add people, and I'm going to want to add courses to this learning plan. So for Meryl, I'm going to sit with her and decide which courses I think will be useful for her future. I can check them off of this list. Nice and simple. And as soon as I click the confirm button, they'll be sitting here in the learning plan. Now this is specific for Meryl. I'm going to want to sit down and do this with each and every one of my employees. You can see I can even make prerequisites. I can tell them which courses they have to complete first to move on. So I'm going to go find that learning plan again here, and now I'm going to enroll Meryl. Now the chances are Meryl's going to be the only person I enroll in Meryl Manning's personal development course. But there will be some learning plans that are created with pre-created content by domain and subject experts. For example, Warren, our CTO, has created a learning plan which has a bunch of different courses he feels you would need to complete in order to also be an expert on leadership essentials for CTOs. Here's another example, FBPay core training. So this would be all of the things that you're required to complete your FBPay training. So there's 2 in-session courses, the 2 e-learning, and your RTs. We could have created one learning plan which has a bunch of different courses included within them. So I'm going to scroll up here back to my admin button. I do want to make sure you go and take a look at the learning plan video specifically. It has a lot more information. But for now, let's take a quick look at the gamification aspect. So as our learners go through the BrainFood platform, they will be rewarded with badges and points. You can see we've created a huge amount of automatically assigned ones. Let's create a brand new badge so you can take a look at what it takes. So this one, we'll call this an amazing work badge, and we'll give it to people who are doing an amazing job. We tend to assign points to minutes. So if you think something is going to take 10 minutes, you're going to want to assign it about 10 points. If you think something's going to take an hour, you're going to want to assign it 60 points. So I started with 10, but I think that amazing work deserves, much more points than 10 points. I'm going to switch it over to 60. If you're doing an amazing job, I want to make sure you get some cool points here too. I can even choose an icon. We have some preloaded ones here, but we can add our own too if you have any cool ideas. There are 2 options. Either I can manually assign this badge, so I can decide to give it to any one of my employees, or alternatively I can set up an automatic association. So you can see I have quite a few different options. You can get this badge when a learner completed a course. That could be for any course at all, anyone who's in the system. Or you can see here, I can do it for their 10th course in a row. I think amazing work would be good if you've taken 10 courses. And then I'm going to save the changes button here. So all the badges are available. These are all ones that you can assign as well. So if you do want to manually assign an automatic badge, you can absolutely do that. You can see that for every book you read, you get a badge. A great way for us to keep track of all of the time you're putting into reading books outside of work. So I have a badge right here. I'm going to click on the View Badges button at the bottom too to learn more about the badge I have. And I also have a leadership board. And this is really great because you'll be able to see all your employees in a list here, see how many points, how much time they're spending in the system. So I'm going to log out, but please look out for more videos on all the different sections in more detail.